photographer. I went to Center for Creative Studies.
Welcome back. 8:45, Paul Mobley's new book, If I Live to Be 100. It's already out. It's a huge hit, and we have the pleasure of having him in studio to talk about this book. Paul, good morning. How did you come up with this idea? Because it's very interesting.
Good morning, Malcolm. Well, my first book, American Farmer, came out, and I went to so many farms, and when I was on those farms, I saw a lot of people that were 100 years old, still working and thriving in their environment. So after meeting so many 100-year-olds on my first book, I thought it'd be great to do a whole project on it.
Now, did you see a correlation with the lifestyles? Because a lot of times, you know, there's I don't know if I want to say a wives' tale, but a thought process that once you retire, then it's downhill. And you're talking about individuals who are 100 years old or much older than you commonly see people still working. Is that a common thread that the most vibrant people tend to continue working?
You know, they had to stay active.
Yeah.
You have to stay active. I learned very early that if you retire and sit on a couch, you don't last as long. So most people that did retire stayed busy, had something forward to look to, you know.
So there is something to be said for staying active and making sure that you live life to the fullest.
Every subject had the same answer. They had to have something to look forward to and had to just do something every day.
What was the oldest person that you've interviewed for your book?
Well, Bessie Cooper from Monroe, Georgia, 116 days, 116 years and 200 days old, just shy of her 117th birthday.
As you think about people who have been that successful with living their lives, the longevity, are there any other special tips, dietary concerns or lifestyle concerns that help these individuals live so long?
You know, most of the time, people think that it's all genetics,
Yeah.
and it's only 30%. I
Really?
learned after photographing and meeting all these people, living over 100 years old is very much only 30% genetics, but it's really just having something to look forward to and trying to keep some sort of a consistency in your daily life.
Yeah, I mean, it would seem that being able to live that long, you would have learned some special things. And we do stories all the time about an individual who says that they have a shot a day or something like that. And you think, well, that doesn't necessarily coincide with healthy living as, you know, as is reported.
Well, every person we photographed, we asked what was the key to long life. And there were a lot of really funny answers and a lot of really interesting answers. No one did the same, but everyone said the same thing. I had something every day that I looked forward to, whether it was a call from my son.
Yeah.
114-year-old woman in New York said to me, for 60 years, her son called her at 5 o'clock every single day.
Really?
Just to say hi. And that kept her alive, she said, looking forward to that call.
Now, I see that you have Norman Lear, which a lot of our viewers, they may not know the name, but you know his work. How did you get him for the intro and why?
Well, I've always been a huge fan of Norman's. He's 94 years old, and he had heard about the project because one of his friends was in the book, 106-year-old person from California. So we thought he'd be a great person to talk to and potentially do the foreword. Norman's 94 years old,
Wow.
does yoga every day.
Really?
And one of the things he said to me was he believes his longevity is, you know, if you can have a belly laugh every day,
Yeah.
he thinks it adds a minute to his life every time he laughs hard.
All right, well, that is definitely some great advice to follow. Alicia, I think you're going to live forever. Just saying.
I belly laughed on that one.